Hi, I'm Dustin Abbott, and I'm here today to give you my quick review of the Canon RF 24mm F1.8 Macro IS STM lens. If you want a deeper dive into performance, check out my definitive video review or the text review linked below. The 24mm joins lenses like the 35mm F1.8 Macro IS and 85mm f2 Macro IS as relatively affordable prime lenses that also happen to have a high level of magnification. The RF 24 Macro costs $599 US, has great size, good autofocus, and a fairly strong optical performance, aside from a few significant flaws. We'll briefly cover each of these in today's review, right after a word from our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by Ridge, the wallet redefined. Give your aching rear a break and ditch that bulky old wallet full of stuff you don't need and move to a sleek new Ridge wallet made of aluminum, titanium, carbon fiber, or even specialty finishes like 18-karat gold or Damascus steel. It takes up a little more room than a credit card, has RFID blocking technology to protect your valuable information, and comes with a lifetime warranty. Ridge wallets hold up to 12 cards, and you can customize them with the included cash strap or money clip. Check out their new Daily Drive combos that match a killer wallet with a matching key case that gives you similar minimalism for up to 6 of your keys. Visit ridge.com/Dustin Abbott and get 40% off through December 22nd. That's ridge.com/Dustin Abbott for 40% off. Like the 35mm and 85mm macro lenses, the 24mm has a 1:2 life size or 0.50 magnification. That's good enough for great close-up shots, though it might not replace a true macro lens if you need serious magnification. The RF 24mm achieves its macro performance via very close focus, only 14 centimeters. And since the lens is 9 centimeters long and the inner barrel extends another centimeter at close focus, that leaves just 4 centimeters between the lens and the subject. Fortunately, not everything is scared off by a camera and lens. The RF 24mm is reasonably compact at only 2.9 inches in diameter and 2.5 inches in length. That's 74.4 millimeters by 63.1 millimeters. And it weighs in at only 9.5 ounces, or 270 grams. It is nearly identical in size to the RF 35mm f1.8. They both share a common 52mm front filter thread as well. While Canon has moved to including IBIS, or in-body image stabilization, in almost all of their newer cameras, they also continue to value in-lens stabilization, or IS. The IS in the lens is rated for 5 stops, but works in conjunction with IBIS if your camera is so equipped. And Canon rates the combined stabilization of up to 6.5 stops of correction. I was able to get this shot at only 1/4 of a second without issue. The lens has Canon's typical consumer-grade build quality, which includes fairly good quality engineered plastics, a metal lens mount, but nothing like weather sealing or even an included lens hood. I'll link to a budget alternative lens hood in the description below. There are 2 switches, an on-off for the IS and an AF-MF switch on the side of the barrel. There is also a manual focus ring located in the center of the lens. The focus ring moves reasonably smoothly, but with a slightly disconnected feel. The control ring is located near the front of the lens and can be programmed in-camera to a variety of different functions. There are 9 rounded aperture blades in the aperture iris, and this does a fairly good job of keeping a circular shape as the lens is stopped down. In many ways, the build quality of the 24mm is fine. I suspect the lens will be durable and it handles nicely. I like the form factor. What I don't love is that Canon continues to expect the market to be fine with them offering less for the $600 US price tag. No weather sealing, no lens hood, no case or pouch. I know they're capable of better. Canon has given the RF 24mm f1.8 a lead screw type STM motor, which is the more robust version of STM that Canon employs, though not as good as their Nano USM. For many applications, the speed and quietness is just fine. I noticed little focus noise during normal operations. IAF works very accurately and makes this an appealing option for vlogging and moving with the camera an arm's length away. I saw good accuracy with both human and animal subjects. Most focus changes for stills happen quickly and without much drama. Things are a little less rosy for video. Video focus pulls are mostly smooth, but they are certainly not fast. Even when doing the test when I put my hand in front of the camera and then allow focus to snap back to my eye, there was some significant delay before focus began to move to the desired spot. I didn't notice a significant amount of focus breathing, however. So how about the optical performance? There are 11 elements in 9 groups, including a ultra-low dispersion element and 1 aspherical lens in the optical formula. This produces very good center sharpness, good mid-frame sharpness, and even decent corner performance from f1.8 on. The corners sharpen up significantly at f2.8, and landscape shots at f4 to f8 look extremely crisp across the frame. I could see a lot of contrast and detail on subjects even at f1.8, however, which makes the lens very useful. I didn't see high levels of chromatic aberrations, though you will get a bit of fringing in high contrast situations. The greatest weakness of the lens is the extremely strong distortion and vignette. I had to use a very high +33 to correct for the barrel distortion, though it does at least correct in a linear way. I also had to essentially max out the sliders to correct for the vignette. Like other recent Canon wide-angle lenses, there is a lot more image than what the viewfinder shows to allow room for that correction. So you can actually get a wider angle of view by doing a manual correction, as shown here. Coma performance is also not good, with obvious chromatic distortion of bright light points along the edges of the frame. Fortunately, flare resistance is much better, even without that lens hood, and in general, I liked the images that I got from the lens. The bokeh quality varies depending on the distance from the subject to the background, but in many situations I could get pleasing images, though there were others that were a little busy for my taste. What really stands out is the versatility of this lens. You can do a lot of different photography with a lens like this. From that close-up work, to walk around and street photography, to even landscape and environmental portraits. The Canon RF 24mm F1.8 Macro IS STM is not going to compete with L-series lenses optically, but I also found that images had fairly good pop to them. Some people love the 24mm focal length, and if that describes you, then the Canon RF 24mm F1.8 is a lens that will probably become a favorite of yours, even if it also sports a few flaws. I'm Dustin Abbott, and if you want more information, you can find linkage to my text review, an image gallery, and buying links below. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and let the light in.